Hi Internet, I'm John Appleseed. Thank you for joining me today on my YouTube channel where we do a daily crossword puzzle. And today we've got the Sunday New York Times puzzle posted today, October 26, 2025. The constructors are Gary Larson and Doug Peterson. I've done a couple Gary Larson puzzles before. It's not the same, the cartoonist who did the Far Side comic strip. It's a different Gary Larson. This is edited by Will Shorts, and the title of the puzzle is Talking About My Generation. That's a song. Is it Rolling Stones? Talking about my generation. I think that's the Stones. But in any case, it will give us some kind of hint to the theme. Maybe we'll have words that only one generation knows or that were popular in a certain generation. I'll have an advantage of having lived through more than one generation. A younger person might only know their own slang. One across leftover piece of fabric. Ort is a nice crossword word for a leftover, O-R-T, but that doesn't fit. So I don't know what it is. One down, pros, camera type could be a SLR, a single lens reflex camera. Two down, numismatists, acquisition. A numismatist is a coin collector, so maybe a coin. It reminds me of the joke from Dick Van Dyke's show. They found some old coins, and Dick Van Dyke said, hey, we need to get a numismatist, and Maury Amsterdam said, wait, these are old coins. We need an old numismatist. Always makes me laugh. Okay, a scrap is a leftover piece of fabric. 19 down, like harem pants. They are long, they are poofy, loose fitting, yes. 3 down, got it, on a radio. Roger. 23 across is a themed answer indicated by the italics, and talking about my generation was the theme today. 23 across, great job selecting a person of the year. Something a boomer might say, probably. So, don't know what it is. 4 down is Kutcher of that 70s show. Is it Ashton? I think that's right. 5 down, like the most pedant. Probably ends in EST. I don't know what it is though. 27 across, stinging plants. I think those are nettles. 31 across, banned bodybuilders. Slangily. This is something that, like a steroid user, a roid. What is a user of steroids? A roid. Is it just roids? Maybe. Pettiest. A pedant can be petty, I guess. 24 down is collector's item. An old something. An old coin from a numismatist. 35 across, Ned Nickerson, I guess fits. Nancy Drew's boyfriend, Ned Nickerson. Okay. A collector would collect, and it has a question mark indicating a kind of a joke. So I don't know what that is. All right, let's try here. 6 across, blank water. Cooking ingredient, sometimes called liquid gold. That's pasta water. 6 down, Windows upgrades, perhaps. You might upgrade the panes in your window. I think this is a literal glass window, not the software. The A in STEAM is for the arts, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Asian honorific, that's an anagram of an English honorific. So Shri is a South Asian honorific. It's an anagram of Sir. Right on time. Person of the year is probably a reference to Time at Magazine's Person of the Year. Boomers, boomer generation might say right on. Way to go, right on, dude. Right on, man. And then you might tell Time Magazine, right on, Time. Great job selecting a Person of the Year. Okay, I think that's what's going on here. A large spread for 20 across. An array. 9 down, laddie's cap is a tam. That's that Scottish flat top cap, sometimes with a little pom-pom on top. Yes, Captain, aye, or aye, sir. Probably aye, because we already have sir kind of referenced in this answer. Typically, we won't repeat words in more than one answer. 28 across, vaudeville offering. Acts would appear on stage on vaudeville. 11 across, Spartacus or Gladiator. Both films. Is that what it is? 21 across, Bob or Helen in The Incredibles. They were the Parr family. 11 down, letter before Zeta. Is it epsilon or upsilon? 12 down, Singer Page or label. Patty, yes. So I think Axe is wrong. I think 11 down is either upsilon or epsilon. Spartacus or Gladiator. Maybe these are epic films, yes. So epsilon, I don't know the order of the Greek alphabet, but maybe you come toward the end. Bargain bin abbreviation, irregular, IRR. Tops of waves are the crests of waves. So par looks right. 25 across, drag performer. Don't know. And vaudeville offering. I don't know. 32 across, relax on a plane, involving a Gen X phrase. I don't know. 34 down, handle. No, 26 down, Addis Ababa residence. That's the capital of Ethiopia, so maybe Ethiopians. Is this like a street, like a drag racing car? It would be a street something. Comic Kaplan, okay. Again, something that my generation would know fairly easily, but a younger generation might not know. Gabe Kaplan played Mr. Cotter. Welcome back, Cotter. 22 across, George Orwell's alma mater. I'm going to guess Eton, just a four-letter school in England. Come off it now. Come off it now. Get down. 16 down, courtyards, could be atria. 17 down, first section of the Iliad. It's 24 books in the Iliad, so probably book 1 with the Roman numeral 1 there. 18 down, 2013 title role for Asa Butterfield. Okay, so a hot rod is a drag car racer. Street rod is not a phrase I've heard before, but I think that might fit. Call at home. Oh, strike. Balls and strikes would be called at home plate. Come off it now. Get real. Okay, we're going back to the metaphorical meaning of get off it. I was thinking literally. Ender's Game was a movie around 2013. Maybe it's Ender. Don't know the name of that actor. Relax on a plane. Something in the air. Relax would be chill. There's a chill in the air. You are relaxing on a plane. You chill in the air, and chill would be a Gen X word for it. Relax. Maybe this is I, sir. Yes, Captain. I, sir. A skit. Okay, I was thinking suit. Doesn't quite fit, but a skit would be a little performance on stage. Carrier with a Flying Dutchman magazine. KLM is the Dutch airline. So I guess their in-flight magazine is called the Flying Dutchman. That's clever. Dynamic opening. Thermo are letters that could appear at the beginning of the word dynamic to give us a second word, thermodynamic. So that's what's going on there. 41 across. Device in a high-tech farm. No. 38 across. QB stat. Could be attempt or interception. 38 down. Industrial blank. I don't know. 39 down. Much obliged in a text. Some way to say thank you. TYSM. I don't know. For 3 letters. Can't quite think of it. 40 down. Head honcho. I think this might be a honcho who is in charge of your head, like a psychiatrist or a barber, maybe. 48 across. Abruptly end all communications with DEA agents. Millennial slang. Okay, we're getting into the things that are harder for me to know. Unless they've been on Saturday Night Live, then that's where I get most of my current pop culture knowledge. 56 across. Trade show. Could be an expo. EXPO is how you spell expo. Maybe this is thanks, THX. Yes, that works. So let's try attempt for a quarterback statistic. The industrial age. To ghost someone is to abruptly end all communications with them. And then DEA agents would be narcs. Ghost the narcs. Ghostbusters. DEA agents would bust drug rings. So you're going to ghost the busters. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Or in this case, you're not going to call the busters. You're going to ghost them. Collector's item. An old debt collector. That's what that question mark is doing there. It's not suggesting we're thinking not of something that you physically collect, but what the other sense of collector. Device in a high-tech farm. No, Oprah or Ellen. They are TV stars. Took me a while to figure out that when the clue has an or in it, two names with an or, it's going to be singular in the answer. Oprah and Ellen would be TV stars, but Oprah or Ellen is TV star. I think that's right. A server farm is a high-tech farm that has servers in it. Jazz trumpeter Baker, who is sometimes called the Prince of Cool. That is Chet Baker. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. One of my favorites. Chet Baker goes there. 33 down, Catch is here. Here, take this, Catch. And 42 down, Shamefaced, I think, is Rueful. And 57 across, Holiday, celebrated with Bon Chung, is the Vietnamese New Year, Tet. So 43 across, or 37 across. One side of the Bering Strait that divides Europe or Asia and the Americas. So Asia goes in there. Candidacy for an entertainment award could be a nomination, or informally a nom. Handle is a name. Your username is your handle. Hit the horn for 52 across is to beep. And 44 down, kimono closer, another nice crossword word, the belt or sash for a kimono or a gi, or a karate martial arts outfit is called an obi. 45 across, frozen character who says, I like warm hugs. That's probably Olaf the Snowman. 54 across, a sci-fi series with J, K, and Z. That's Men in Black, right? MIB. 60 across, small bite, could be a nibble. That fits with that I. Then 46 down, the headline, Kids Make Nutritious Meals. Oh, it's ambiguous or ambivalent. Could be read both ways. Kids prepare nutritious meals or eat kids as a nutritious meal. So it's something you would avoid just to avoid that misreading. Run off with. To run off with is to elope or, I don't know. Source of some natural dyes and sugars. Beets can provide both of those things. Greed for 67 across. Is that avarice? That fits. Filch is to steal something, to run off with it. So this is either ambiguous or ambivalent. Awesome after dark. Yeah, probably ends in night, and that gives us ambiguous. That does fit. Awesome after dark. Somebody went across. That is a Gen X. Awesome is rad, gnarly. It's a phrase that goes with night. Starry night? Nope. Coveter's sin is envy. Kidnap, to accost. No, I don't think that's right. What's 51 down? Mark on a freshly polished shoe would be a scuff mark. 59 down, the good dinosaur. In the good dinosaur. I've seen this clue in the puzzle before, in the New York Times puzzles, but I don't remember the answer. Superfood berry is probably a sigh. For 58 across, 50 down is 1990s Indian Prime Minister. Rao might fit there. Beatles nickname for 64 across were the Fab Four. Arlo, I think that's right. Awesome after dark. Fly could be awesome for Gen X, or fair at many a shoreline. eatery for 74 across. If it's on the shoreline, they probably have seafood. Let's try Arlo. That kind of rings a bell. It's a dinosaur, cartoon dinosaur name. Fly by night. Oh, it is fly, but we're inserting an extra word. Fly by night. It's fly by night, but not by day. Okay, kidnap is to abduct. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to think of, not accost. Difficulty to Hamlet. Aye, there's the rub, as he said in his soliloquy. 76 across. Disco guy on The Simpsons is Disco Stew. And those goldfish in his high-heeled disco shoes. Liverpudlian is someone from Liverpool. So a Britisher? A Briton. Someone from Great Britain is called a Briton. Aromatherapy liquids could be oils. I think that's right. 82 down. Sheltered side is lee as opposed to windward, the leeward side. Typical university applicants. Seniors. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, this is an ambiguity. It's not an adjective, it's a noun. Kids make nutritious meals is an example of an ambiguity, something that can be read more than one way. Like most crossword clues, by the way. Okay, so that works. Oils for aromatherapy liquids, lee for the opposite of windward, seniors for university applicants. University is abbreviated in the clue, so also we use an abbreviation in the answer. And yes for absolutely. 87 across. 1, assessing the number of hotties at a party. So if you're assessing a number, you are counting, so some kind of counter. What's a Gen Z slang for a hottie? Don't know. I'll need some crossing letters for that. 72 down. Breed of Smokey, the first known therapy dog, familiarly. So a Yorkshire Terrier is known as a Yorkie. I don't know Smokey the therapy dog, but let's try that. 65 down. Most exceptional, the best. And 66 down. Pests that bug pups could be fleas. My dog has fleas. Temporary halt, legally, is a stay of execution. Objectivist author Rand is Ayn Rand. So a snack is an attractive person. I think I've heard that before. So a snack counter is a common phrase, and also maybe somebody who's counting the number of snacks or hotties at a party. Recognition for an ardent fan. Gen Z with a U-R-E-L ending. So I was thinking au naturel, French word for naked, in the state of nature, but that does not fit, and that doesn't fit with recognition for an ardent fan either. 68 down. Blank, the blank, the limit. The sky's the limit. 69 down. Prepare to drive. In golf, I think probably to tee up, and head honcho is the top something. A laurel, like a laurel wreath, can be a recognition. And an ardent fan is a stan. That gives a Stan Laurel of Laurel and Hardy. So we need to know Gen Z slang would also be familiar with the first names of Laurel and Hardy. So I think that works. Stan and Ollie. Toy with barista and dog trainer versions. A toy. Don't know. Moonshiner's needs. Do you need yeasts to make moonshine? I didn't know that. Source of onomatopoeic words. Onomatopoeic means it's a word that sounds like the sound it represents, like splash. Sounds like something splashing into water. So sounds works there. NFC South could be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Bucks. Okay. Head honcho, top banana. Then sun for 84 across. That's the symbol for fair weather in a forecast. And I think 73 across is Ken doll. That is a toy. And I guess he can be dressed up to be a barista or a dog trainer. Although I know the memes from the latest film, his job is basically just beach. 63 down. It holds the line. A clothespin holds the clothes onto the line, so not quite fitting, but it could be. Not to mention, also, green opening makes me think it's eco, like a prefix that means environmentally friendly. So that doesn't fit. 86 down, blank eyes. Eagles tune. Don't know. Go out with is to see someone romantically. Antonym and rhyme for nay. Yay is the antonym, the opposite of yay and nay, or opposite sides of a vote, and yay rhymes with a nay. Green opening. Tempo is the pace of something. Province bordering Turin, 97 across, so someplace in Italy. It's lying eyes. You can't hide these lion eyes. Yeah, it's lion. Lion eyes. And then a green opening. An opening in a golf green is a golf hole where you put the flag. Okay, I'm going to try clothespin here. It holds the line. I can. It kind of fits, but it's not quite syntactically accurate, is it? I think Asti is a province in Italy. Let's try that. 104 across, promoting a romantic connection between characters played by actors Nathan and Diane. Characters played by actors Nathan and Diane. I don't know that. Let's see if we can get over here. 95 across, ancient Greek tunic. It ends in O-N. 80 down, disposable items by the door of an open house, perhaps. No, and uses lefty-loosey on. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty is how you remember which direction to unscrew something. So if you're unscrewing it, do I go left? Yeah, I want to loosen it, so I'm using lefty-loosey. I think this might be chiton. Chiton, I think, is a Greek tunic. Disposable items. Group that investigates cases. The TSA investigates your luggage, your suitcases. Pagan religion could be Wicca. Booties? Oh, so you don't stain the carpet. Please put these paper booties over your shoes, please, if you're touring an open house. Yeah, that does work. Blank weenie could be eeny weenie. Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. Or is it teeny weeny? And X's to Aphrodite. Aphrodite spoke Greek, so that to her that would represent the Greek letter chi. Undesirable marks in high school is acne. And 104 across, another themed answer, promoting a romantic connection between characters played by actors Nathan and Diane. So who's an actor, Nathan? Nathan Fillion is the only one I can think of. Diane. I don't know. 110 across is The Merchant of Venice, heroine. I think Portia was a character in that. 114 across, labor leaders, unionists, trade unionists. That's possible. 120 across, the Martian volcano, Olympus blank, Olympus Mons. I said in a recent puzzle that's the only Martian landscape feature I know. The answer for that clue was the smiley face crater or something like that. It was a crater that looks like a smiley face. Froth is spume. Spume is another word for froth or foam on the top of a liquid. Pay tribute to is to honor. One oh six down, one of the sisters in Chekhov's Three Sisters. Don't know. Commencement ritual at a commencement ceremony, a graduation ceremony. You might toss your cap, your motorboard into the air. Historic periods are eras. Let's try unionists. For the labor leaders, arena. So shipping is to promote a romantic connection between characters. It's kind of like standing. Where did we have Stan Laurel up here? To stan. I guess there's between standing and shipping, isn't there? Okay. Shipping is when you want two characters to develop a relationship, like Mulder and Scully on X-Files. There are a lot of shippers on for that show. Books with legends. Atlases have legends because they're full of maps. Nathan Lane, of course. I know Nathan Lane. Characters played by actors Nathan and Diane. I don't know what Diane Lane? Shipping lanes makes sense. Diane Lane. Doesn't quite ring a bell, but Nathan Lane certainly does. Sexology subject. I wonder if that's G spot. Garb for an Indian bridesmaid is probably a sari. And that fits with ear for 100 down. Location of the malleus, incus, and stapes. Is that the hammer, anvil, and stirrup? Malleus, I think, means hammer. So I think that's right. Those are the bones in your ear. Maroon, in a way, is to ennile someone, to place them on an island. So maybe union reps. My union rep is my labor leader. G-spot is something you might learn about in a sexology class or some other way that's more interesting. 121 across, shaving gel additive. Let's try aloe for that. Country music's blank young band, probably Eli. Takes a load off is sits. Eli Young Band, and tiaras are small crowns. Okay, we're almost done. Let's see if we can finish off this little corner. 112 across, men's accessory organizer is a tie rack, I bet. ACK finishes that, and 116 across, leave just after the first person. Split could be leave in boomer slang. 117 down, head of production. Might be the letter P, which is the first letter of production, the head, and it's spelled phonetically P-E-E. 118 down, PC connection, could be a local area network, a LAN. 112 down, tax code issues. No, and pun-filled say, could be witty. So vaulted is leapt, and we is incy, like to go with teeny, and tax code issues are tips. Here's some tips for dealing with the tax code. Here's some issues. Again, it doesn't quite fit. The tips help you deal with the issues. They aren't the issues themselves, but I like split is the beginning of 116 across as a synonym for leave. Then its leaves are eaten by giraffes. I think they eat acacia leaves. Blank squash, acorn squash is a kind of squash. Often skinned body part is the knee. So split second. You leave just after the first person. You leave second. You split second if you're a boomer. Like some undercover detectives, they might be wearing a wire. They might be wired. Less off the wall is more sane or saner. An arcade game with pressure sensors for the feet, familiarly, not one I've played before, but that is Dance Dance Revolution, or DDR. And R finishes the puzzle. There we go. We came in just under a half hour. So I think all of these slang terms were ones I had heard before. Stan is not one I would probably use myself. Didn't Eminem kind of popularize that with kind of suggests being a stalker or an unhinged fan. Shipping, yeah, I certainly know that from the X-Files. So Stan Laurel, that was a clever one. Right on time. Street Rod, as I commented, hot rod certainly would make me think of a drag racing car. Street Rod, I can figure it out. If you told me this is my street rod, I would know what you're talking about, but it's not a phrase I've heard before. And chill in the air is to relax on a plane. That was fun. All right, that was a good puzzle, a clever theme. Probably had to come up with a list of slang words from various generations and then try and come up with phrases that could be interpreted both ways as ambiguities. All right, so thanks so much for joining me. Please come back for more puzzles and games, and I will see you next time.